Hey guys, Bulls87 here, and you're watching behind the scenes of the epic Roman Candle War. Epic Roman Candle Wars was one of the funnest projects I've worked on this year. Special thanks to Jeremy and Mike for being part of it. And since my videos have been getting more popular, I've been receiving more questions about how I put my videos together and how they're made. So I thought I'd do my first shot of behind the scenes video and kind of go over how they're made from beginning to end, covering frequently asked questions, the equipment that I use, and editing, which I'll be covering pretty extensively. So this is going to be a longer video. In the future, I'll try and make it more quick and to the point. If there's anything you want me to cover more of or anything I should be going more in depth into, or you have any questions, please leave your questions and feedback below in the comment section. Let's go ahead and jump right into the equipment. I don't have a whole lot of equipment, but I got the basic equipment. I got the mini tripod, full-size tripod. This one's great for putting in the grass and getting those long continuous shots. This one is great for getting a continuous shot as well as you can move it. But basically I use these for extra cameramen. So I would put one camera in there and then I would grab this camera and start following people around with it. So it's kind of like a new friend that I have. My bread and butter is my GoPro. Just standard monopod. I put a GoPro handlebar attachment on there. And yeah, it stretches out. It's good for short shots. I pretty much use it for everything. I get down low shots, follow them up high. It also goes where you don't want to go. So if you want to stick it into the fireworks and kind of be out of the way, that works too. As for other GoPro mounts, I did use the head mount. I kind of had that one going on me as I was carrying this one. So I could look this way, keep my eyes over here, and try to get the reaction shots with the GoPro camera. Those two together seem to work out pretty well. As for the actual cameras themselves, I used a GoPro 3 and a GoPro 3 Plus black editions for both of those. I was shooting at 1080 at 60 frames per second. That's kind of the beginner mode. It's kind of the go-to for anything I do. Actually, all my videos have been at 1080 at 60. I'm kind of experimenting with some faster frame rates and for better slow motion shots. But other than that, 1080 at 60 works for just about everything. So the first question we get all the time is why? Why are you guys shooting each other with fireworks? And the idea for this actually came from Halloween. We dressed up as Mario Kart costumes, and people were always trying to pop the balloons, and finally someone grabbed a Roman candle and was like, I'm going to pop that balloon. And I thought, hey, that'd be a good idea if we could shoot Roman candles at balloons. And I guess from there the idea grew. Once we had the battle, I was like, this is awesome. We got to film an introduction. We got to have an ending. We got to make a movie out of this thing. Next question I get all the time is, why weren't you in it? It doesn't seem fair that you invite your friends over, have them shoot each other for your entertainment. But originally it was just supposed to be a small deal. It was supposed to be me and Jeremy shooting each other. We weren't even going to film it. But then I had just gotten off of knee surgery, and my knee was still a little bit crunchy. So I called up my buddy Mike and said, look, you guys have a firework battle. I'll film it. I'll make it look epic. And at the end, for being good sports, I'll let you guys shoot me. And that's what they did. A lot. You don't feel guilty about it? Nope. Not at all. Yes, it hurts a lot actually. So I recommend not doing it and not trying to recreate what we do. These smaller ones, they actually don't hurt too bad, but it is fire. So if it gets in your eye one time, it can cause a lot of damage. And not to mention some of these ones, these come out like rockets. I mean, you have no time to react. It's basically like a high-powered paintball that's on fire. And I actually ruined one of my GoPro cases. It got hit in the crossfire. And it even barely hit the GoPro, but it melted the plastic behind it. So if it can melt plastic, it'll melt your face. We used a crap ton of fireworks. And that's why it was so awesome. And we had 200 plus Roman candles alone. We had the mega cannons. We had Saturn missiles. We had mortars, smoke bombs, and Bottom Rock. It's all between two people. I think we spent about $400, give or take some, on the fireworks in total. But as the saying goes, can't put a price on love. It takes a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears go into these videos that I make. At least 40 plus hours in editing. So all in all, I'd say about 55 to 60 hours at the end of the day. I mean, it takes a lot more time than you think, but I guess the more time you put into it, the better it's going to look. Can I be in the next video, or how do I become part of the next video? And the easy answer is to follow us on Facebook at Nothing to Do Crew. That's where we're always posting our upcoming events at. We're always looking for more people to come out and join us. If you don't have to necessarily get involved in the action, you can come out and watch. If you want a for sure spot in the next video, stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll be doing a little contest for that. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first step is to upload all your GoPro videos to a hard drive. For me, I always put my phone number there in case I lose it. Anyone could easily find me. And so there I have all the full clips. For this one, I had about 200 clips to go through, start off with. And slowly but surely, I just go through them and trim them up. For instance, Chelsea's in this one, the camera's in this one. It's not really a good part at the beginning. So I just fast forward to the parts that I want to save. And just trim up the video. And once I get a good part that I want to trim, I'll save that file to the chopped up section. And once I have all the videos chopped up, I like to put them in folders so I can find them a little bit easier. This is probably the hardest part of figuring out what to save and figuring out names for them all. I started with 200 clips. By the time I chopped them all down, I had 100. And then in my main video, I think I had about 50. So once you get those all chopped up, you're ready to start putting them on the timeline and opening up your editing software. Before we start editing, I wanted to show you a little shortcut that I use. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle. You got your clips chopped up and you got them named. So then put the names down on a sticky pad and set up a timeline like this one, where you got your introduction, you got your battle, and then you got your ending. Any little notes that you want to make in there, for instance, say I want to combine clips, I usually put a star. Any clips that I might want to do a slow motion, I'll put a giant S on. And that way you got your movie kind of generally laid out before you put it into the editing software, where clips can kind of get lost and jumbled together. So I set up my editing software timeline to look exactly like this, and then anytime I make a change in this one, I make a change in the movie. That way I always have something I can easily look at and locate a clip. It's hard to scroll all the way through a timeline to find a specific clip, but you can just look at the wall. I put mine right next to my computer and say, I'm looking for big explosion. Rather than drag the timeline, I just look at my wall and say, oh, big explosion's really close to the end. So I drag to the end, I take it, and then when I move it somewhere, then I make the change in the editing software. Sounds complicated, it's really easy, it'll save you a lot of time now. Okay, so once you have your timeline established, it's time to start editing. Start new movie. You can use Adobe Premiere. GoPro Cineform has a good editing software, but personally I like to use iMovie. They're all pretty much the same, so it's kind of just a preference. So once you create your movie, then you go to Import, select all the imported chopped up clips, or you can do them individually if you want. And once you do that, they're going to appear here on the left-hand side. There you start grabbing and dropping the clips. You can do multiple clips at a time. If you're having trouble finding any, iMovie has a cool search function, so you just type in the name and it'll pop up. And once you get your timeline established, then it's time to start adding the music. I personally recommend using royalty-free music, because if you don't, then YouTube can take down your clips, or they'll delete the sound off of them. And if you don't have royalty-free, then you're ineligible for monetization. So if you're looking for a good place to get some royalty-free music, I like to use Jewel Beat. Premium Beat has some good songs. Also, YouTube has their own audio library that is full of sound effects and different music that you can use. When you're ready to upload your music, you just do it the same way. You go to import and find the music and add the music, same way you did the clips. And once you add the music, it'll be there at the bottom in the green. You just select it and drop it below the clips, and then you have music. And now that you have your clips and your music, you're ready to start doing the final touches. Okay, so for the finishing touches, I just wanted to pull up my final movie from the Epic Roman Candle War and show you what it looks like. We got a whole lot of features you can use in here. You can adjust the volume simply by scrolling up and down. You can also crescendo the music going in and out. You can make adjustments to these if you want. Improve sound quality. Whole lot of features. As you can tell, a whole lot of work goes into these. And some of the different tools that I like to use the transitions. So like from here to here, it goes from black. You can also do white, dissolve, tons of different transitions that they have. They also have some pretty good sound effects in the library here. For instance, I used the helicopters a couple times. And up here is your main toolbox that you're going to be using a lot. You can do things like match color. You can change the color. This is for pictures. I really don't use it a whole lot. A big one I do use is the camera stabilizer. You can pretty much stabilize any video, but the higher percentage that you go, the more the picture will be zoomed in, because it essentially just compresses the video. Sound, I don't really mess around with this one too much, but this one I do, because you can reduce the background noise and you can enhance the voice. So for instance, this what I'm recording right now, I'll probably do that to drown out some of the background noise. The speed editor is the one you're going to want to use the most. You can tell I use it on almost every clip. I got turtles and rabbits everywhere. You can adjust the speed. You can do slow, fast, normal, or you can even customize it. So you can drag it as fast as you want it or as slow as you want it. And with this features, you can also do reverse. But I always suggest if you're making a clip faster or slower, you always preserve the pitch. That way, instead of sounding like chipmunks, it'll do its best to sound like the normal sounds that are coming out of the video. You can also do some cool video effects. I never really use these. They're kind of cheesy. But some of the audio effects are pretty cool. You can change the pitch on things. Like I did it for the walkie-talkie just to sound more evil or whatever you would think. Another cool feature is some of the sound quality in the GoPro doesn't show up as well as you'd like. So for some of them, I just muted the sound on them and imported the sound from another clip. So for instance, this one has really good Roman candle sounds. So I take it, instead of putting it in the timeline, I put it below it, and then the sound from that one will transfer over. And so, yeah, this is what a final clip will kind of look like. Another cool feature that you can add is you can add a screen inside of a screen like this. For this one, all you do is you click up here, and you can do picture in a picture. You can have them side by side. You can do a cutaway. But there's all sorts of cool little features that you can add in this. And this is kind of what I guess the final product should look like. It's time for a contest. Little scavenger hunt. First person to answer in the comments below will win a spot in the next video, as well as one of the custom handmade shields that we used in the video. Chelsea and I both appear in the Epic Roman Candle War, but we're kind of hidden in the backgrounds. This is what we look like, and this is what we're wearing. So go through, watch the video. First person to comment with the exact second that each of us appear will be the winner. And it's a hint. One of us is at the beginning, and one of us is towards the end.
Thanks for watching. Click the links to the other videos. There's some pretty good stuff out there. And subscribe to the videos.